Hi, my name is Sydney Reinhardt, and I will be giving my speech titled United by Our Roots. Spanning from 1619 all the way to the end of the Civil War in 1863, slavery has been present in America. Although slavery ceased to exist, racial injustice and discrimination continue to persist. Roots, the Saga of an American Family, written by Alex Haley, describes what life was like for the average African American, both male and female, during these time periods. The story Roots tells the story of Kunta Kinte, a young man from Africa sold into slavery, and his next 7 generations. Haley depicts and accounts for all the struggles that each member of Kunta's family had to endure. Alex Haley, with his valuable lessons about racial injustice, family genealogy, and perseverance, would benefit the Western Larrikian and the rising generation. Alex Haley contributes to both writing, history, and humanity as a whole. Roots shares experiences of the African American households and teaches about the importance of family history. This lesson can be applied not only to African Americans, but to all races as well. Haley's writings make an impact on everyone who reads it. Haley had a big impact on family history and raising awareness about learning family genealogy. Family is a very important part of everyone's lives, and they affect who we are today. In Family Matters, newsletter of the Australian Institute of Family, an article titled Why Do Families Matter for Our Future, written by Anne Hollins, talks about the importance of families and the roles that they play in our lives. Hollins states, families play a critical role in the human capital investment story. Families are where the most important prevention and early intervention occurs. There are a plethora of research reports re-examining and re-reporting extensive evidence on the importance of the early years of life on later life outcomes. We also know that while quality early childhood education is important in boosting the developmental outcomes of kids growing with disadvantage, early childhood education alone is insufficient. The home environment matters even more. Family is critical to our development. Haley teaches this principle in his writing by explaining how much each member of the family impacted each other. Both physical and mental benefits are achieved when learning about family history. Haley focuses his writings on these types of profound lessons in all of his writings, promoting family history, racial justice, and perseverance. In an article titled How Alex Popularized Ancestral Searching by Peter Furhard discusses Haley's stance and contributions to family history. Furhard states, Haley's work contributed to a resurgence in Americans of all ethnic origins seeking their family roots. Even though the book is in the historical fiction genre, this book caused an actual response in our world. People began being more interested in family history and their own roots. Furhard further discusses Haley's story resonated with African Americans emerging from the Civil Rights era with renewed emphasis on their heritage, but this interest was not limited to African Americans. Throughout the 1970s, interest in genealogy grew. American descendants of immigrants felt freer to embrace their old-world ancestors in a way that previous generations, under the relentless push of assimilation, did not. As we can see, this book contributes to the community and is already teaching people valuable lessons. Adding this book and Alex Haley into the Western Larrikian will teach students about family history and the importance of it. It will also help ease students' curiosity about their family. The time period that Haley wrote this book in was the 1960s to 1976. During this time period, the civil rights movement was raging. While Haley was writing Roots, African Americans were still being oppressed, but there were people trying to stand up for them and speaking out. This explains why Roots was teaching about racial equality by sharing African American struggles up to that point. With racial injustices against African Americans and other minorities in full effect, we can also come to the conclusion that Haley was writing this book with a mindset of change. Haley wanted change. He wanted a better change for minorities, mainly African Americans. Haley showed the changes that he wanted in many of his writings. In our society, we want to read about authors that teach valuable lessons that we can apply to our own lives. Haley achieves this by teaching about true racial injustice, taking a new perspective on racial injustice in just one story. Haley discusses it while slavery was present and later on the road when the civil rights movement was in full in full effect. Roots portrays the slavery era and post-Civil War era. When this book was being written by Alex Haley, it is during the Civil Rights Movement and the Feminist Movement. We can see these movements in the pages of Alex Haley's books. We can see the Civil Rights Movement as the characters start going to college and prosper in their town. We see the Feminist Movement when one of the girls becomes the first woman in their family to go to college. These movements inspire Haley's writings. Haley not only teaches, but inspires these movements to continue. Haley is a great example of the type of authors that we want in the Western literary canon.